our efforts here, what we're doing on a daily basis, is a direct result of our election, or the reason why we got elected for this award, which we are very thankful for. The way we bring awareness to the communities and to other organizations is by recycling. A sheet metal shop where we do machining, so we're recycling certain metals as well as out of the sheet metal shop. We are recycling packaging material such as cardboard or paper, or even plastic bottles in form of water bottles is being used throughout the employee base here. Stuff of that nature. When our health and safety coordinator made these data available to the Hampton Roads Green Committee, they basically recognized real quick that this is great, and I'm glad to say that we might be able to serve here as a role model for other companies to pick these type of things up, which we think is very important. But to your point, we've done this all along, ever since SKF has come in and helped us to put these programs together. That is part of our daily operation. The importance is to recognize that you can be an active part of minimizing the use of natural resources. And in any way you're going to look at it, and it's, again, I said earlier in regards to the use of natural gas, the use of electricity, et cetera, et cetera. So natural resources don't last forever, and to recognize that and bring it back into circulation is an absolute good thing to do.
I think it's great. You know, we, like my wife mentioned, a lot of the stuff that we just do it for the fun and the pleasure of it. And just to have somebody come by and recognize us and to get awarded for it, I mean, that's kind of like the icing on the cake. So I enjoy just getting out here and cutting the grass and, you know, trimming up things and just having it look nice. Get a lot of pleasure out of that, and plus it's relaxing, eases stress and all that good stuff.
Well, I just love flowers. I think they're beautiful, and I've always was born and raised. My mother was a yard person and a plant person and a flower person, and I just enjoy the beauty of God's creation. So on my spare time, I come out here and I plant flowers and maintain them and enjoy them. I do it for myself, and then other people do enjoy it. I like taking care of things, and I like my things, if it's mine, I want it to reflect my personality. No secrets, trial and error. I have replanted and dug up, transplanted, tried something new, and then eventually it is the economies of scale. After a while, you kind of get the hang of it. I have a garden in the back as well that we asked for permission it's city property, the easement, and I'm running out of space. I wish I had more room, but there's no favorite part. It's all a good part to me. Right now I have collard greens, mustard greens, and a big lettuce vegetable bed and spinach. And I've even tried, 2 years ago I started a cut flower bed, because I have flowers in my house all the time. I cut flowers and take them to work and all that. So I have even a cut flower bed in the back. I have gourds, I grew gourds. I've made some crafts with my gourds. I'm a craft person. I hate waste. So I'm not growing anything just for looks. I use everything I have. I have a raspberry and a blackberry patch, and I freeze my raspberries, and I love to cook, so I use all my raspberries and blackberries for my desserts. And vegetables, the cucumbers, as I said, I started pickling cucumbers, and my tomato bed, which you missed, but I started canning tomatoes this year, making salsa and tomato sauce. And I'm going to start drying flowers, because I love crafts as well, as I said. So yeah, I do a little bit of everything. I am tired, but I enjoy it.
Probably the biggest thing, I suppose, has been the Arboretum that we'll go visit. About 2007, there was a coalition of interested persons in Parks and Rec, in the Clean City Commission, us, and of course we're part of the Virginia Cooperative Extension, so our agents. And we partnered together to take a pasture that wasn't really being used very much, and the city put a fence up, and then we went out and we got donations of plants from a big chunk from the Clean City Commission over a couple of years, and from Parks and Rec, when they had too many of something, if we could use it, they would give it to us, and things we grew ourselves from cuttings or from actual donations. We partnered together to take a pasture that wasn't really being used very much, and the city put a fence up, and then we went out and we got donations of plants from a big chunk from the Clean City Commission over a couple of years, and from Parks and Rec, when they had too many of something, if we could use it, they would give it to us, and things we grew ourselves from cuttings or from actual donations. There's a couple of signs where little garden clubs have been out to visit, and we're so pleased that they gave us some money and we bought a plant and put a sign up, and we've had teen groups out to help with the maintenance. We've had the sailors from the Bush came twice, the Air Force Base has sent people. Anyway, we've had a lot of help in getting things put in the ground and organized, and we're up to 500 or more different plants in an area that's designed to be peaceful, recreational. It's a good place for children because you can see, it's about 1.5 acres, and you can see the whole space, so the children can run safely and the parents can just enjoy themselves. We make enough money so that we maintain the Arboretum at our expense, and including buildings, equipment. The original buildings were donated by the city. The later ones that we've done since I've been here have been at our cost. And we want to do a children's educational area with a little, with seats and a demonstration table under the trees, things like that. And so what we do is that gives us the opportunity to get plants in the hands of people who haven't really planted gardens. All they've done is lawns, and they're young folks and they don't know what to do, so they'll come out to us and they can take a wagon load away for not very much money, and they can learn to experiment and become a little more confident. The old goal of getting people out of doors in their gardens, planting green things that are good for wherever they are.
My friends, Carol Lanchey and Olive Johnston, recruited me for this. When I moved to Hampton in 2003, they showed up on my doorstep and invited me to join this ladies' walking group. And oh, by the way, we just happened to pick up trash while we're at it. My passion is community service. And I've always felt very strongly about community service, and particularly 30 years in the military, I always told my folks that you always give back to your community, whether it's the community your professional community, the community that you live in, or your religious community, but you give back in one of those communities. It's fun. We get out in the mornings, you get your exercise, you know you're doing something good. It's a nice, like you said, camaraderie and networking. My husband was absolutely amazed because we were new to the area, and we'd be looking for something, and I'd just ask the group of ladies if I needed something. Does anybody know? And inevitably somebody would have a reference or a resource, and he was just so tickled. He'd say, ask the ladies this, ask the ladies that. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful group, and rewarding. You know, when you know that you're making the world a better place. Picking up trash is a small thing. It doesn't take a lot. You know, I know the Hampton Clean City Commission gets, you know, schools involved, and they have folks go into the schools. I think it helps when we take children with us, when we do the Adopt a Stream, and they see that trash in the wetlands and how that's filtering it, and they see those things that, you know, and even sports equipment, you know, balls or whatever that they've thrown, and they see it as litter. I think that helps, because when you start with young impressionable minds, they'll take that lesson with them as they grow.
You feel good, like we go to the VA hospital and do programs for them, and they are just so thankful. I mean, it just really makes their whole life, because I don't think any of them have family, or some of them don't, and it just makes you feel good as a person. And they come out, and some of them can actually sit in a wheelchair and help us. And then at Christmas time we go in and decorate with holly and different pine cones and that type of thing. And then when you plant your plants, you need a mulch or do composting, and be careful with fertilizer, because the fertilizer has chemicals in it and it runs into the bay. And you get organic fertilizer, which is the best if you can use that. I guess really when I became a master gardener in 2004, really, you know, and then became a tree steward, because a lot of our trees we lost during Isabel, and we need to plant more trees. So we had to shade our house, save energy and air conditioning, and it's just better for you to have all these trees around you. Keeps the air clean. We had to write up a brochure so that the people who come in can look at this brochure and say, oh, that's that plant, because some of them don't know that what plants are what. So this helps them. And there's a big variety of plants back there, so it might be something they want to plant in their yard after they see it. Well, we did a lot of planning. And yeah, we have a plant sale twice a year, the Hampton Master Gardeners. One in May and one in September, and our prices are very good. And they come from our gardens or our yards, so you know they'll grow here. It's not like they're shipped in from another state.